Hello and welcome to the next round of the WMC. We're here at the Black Sea in Russia. Practice was dry and uneventful. We're expecting what looks like another... Oh, no, it's going to be a rain hit qualifying. Very interesting. Inna Tarasova out there in the softs. She went faster for a second, but look at that. Already the intermediates are proving to be the option choice here, or the prime choice here. Look at this. Water out on track. Markovic takes first. Hate Singh, surprisingly, in second, despite his, travails in the wet recently. Here they come for their last ones. Is that going to be... Look at that! Oh, Markovic! Oh, Ericsson so nearly took it there. Markovic up in the first. Look at that. They just finished their laps before it happened. Wow. Wow. What an interesting qualifying that was. So there you go. Vinko Markovic takes first from Araujo Azevedo. Inna Tarasova can only make third. Ide Maglic in fourth. Havana Ericsson fifth. Hate Singh sixth. Veronique Morel seventh. Minoru Nishimura in eighth. Naomi Klein ninth. And somehow one of our observers manages to get 10th in an absolutely chaotic qualifying. Zach Lucas completely misused his tyre choices there and ends up in 18th, as does Sakaris de Toro. A complete tactical blunder from Gorski and the Funky Bunch there, putting their drivers on the wrong tyres at the wrong time, and we're going to have a rain-hit race. It's raining here in Russia. And look at how big that... it's going to die off by about maybe lap 16. But for the first 8 or so laps, it's going to be heavy, heavy rain. We're going to have to see some people switching onto wet tyres from intermediates, you would surely assume. Almost instantly. Here we go. Vinko Markovic. Lights are out and away we go. Vinko Markovic gets a great start. Araujo Azevedo gets a bad one, but he blocks off Tarasova and Maglic. Tarasova boxed in, but manages to get around the inside anyway. Maglic is going to go out, drag her through the straight, and look at that! Havana Ericsson up the inside. Araujo Azevedo coming back through the outside from the next corner. Inna Tarasova still locked with Ide Maglic there in fourth and fifth. Inna Tarasova going to throw it up the inside of Araujo Azevedo, but he's going to push her wide going into the next straight. Is that Hate Singh of all people? Hate Singh throwing it up the outside of Inna Tarasova, slotting in behind for this next long sweeping left-hander. Oh, and he's closing too quickly, but too quickly. Everyone's coming in. Everyone is in for a stop. Look at that. Everyone is into the pit lane, apart from one observer car and one other person there. Giles sets fastest lap because nobody else has been. Everyone onto wets here. Araujo Azevedo, the only two that stayed out were Giles and Kalua Anene. Interestingly enough, Kalua Anene, of course, racing a little bit injured from last week's heavy crash. Markovic out in third. Araujo Azevedo fourth. Tarasova fifth. And Hate Singh in sixth. Ericsson in seventh. Maglic eighth. Gue ninth. Pesonen has just taken ninth, in fact. Markovic is... it's going to be interesting seeing how quickly that gap falls, because at the moment they're still on intermediates as their kind of main option. But it's going to be very interesting to see... Shut up, Giles. It's going to be very interesting to see what Anene's tactics here are. He's staying out. I wouldn't have done that. I think he stole a march on them by staying out for one lap extra. But if he's going to do two, that's probably not going to be... that's not going to be optimal. You will almost certainly see that gap between Markovic and Giles up here. 15.1. It's already coming down. Look at that. They're on a wet track and the wet tyres are taking over. Just behind Markovic, Araujo Azevedo is under pressure from Inna Tarasova. But everything else stays as you would expect it behind those two. What a fascinating race this is turning out to be. It's going to be even more fascinating when the water really dries up. But we're going to... Oh, there goes Inna Tarasova up the inside. She's probably going to take it now. She's got a better drive, but Araujo Azevedo trying to come back at her through the next corner. Can't take it. Wasn't close enough. Inna Tarasova putting herself in a position to try and regain these positions. Markovic now taking absolute chunks out of Anene's and Giles' advantage. God knows what Giles is doing. And then I wonder, he's staying out still. Is he going to try and ride it through? He's already about maybe a quarter of the way through the heaviest rain. I think it's a bold move, but at this point it might be the right one. If you've already made a mistake, don't compound it by choosing the correct strategy a strat later, a lap later rather. I think it would make sense to adjust on the fly. Tarasova trying to get back to Markovic. Markovic, who's about to overtake an Nene, looks like. Look at the extra traction. He's going to surely get him on the straight here. Yeah, he can get onto the power much earlier. Look at those intermediates looking like a terrible decision. Or at very least a terrible place to be in. Tarasova was held up there by Nene. Tarasova was held up. They go 3 wide. Tarasova boxed out, and Nene just takes them back both again. Look at that. Araujo Azevedo in third now. Tarasova nearly took both of them, but lost out as Nene blocked her off. Is that Hate Singh now up in fifth? The rain has stopped, but the track is still absolutely sodden. I suspect we won't see... Yeah, we're not expecting to see any more rain for the rest of the race. Hate Singh defying his usual travails in the wet to perform quite well here. Ayn Maglic is in sixth. Giles has finally been overtaken by Markovic. I wonder if he's going to hold anyone up here. But he does. Look at that. He already held up Araujo Azevedo. Ina Tarasova is just going to take him on the straight, and that's lost Azevedo some time to Tarasova there. Although this is he's remarkably close to top 5 here after 8 laps already. And there goes Giles dropping back down on his outmatched intermediates. Maglic just gets taken up the inside there by Ericsson. Ericsson now trying to make that move stick by getting away from Maglic. If she can, it'll be all about Tsing. Now the rest of the I was about to say the rest of this will be interesting to see for strategy. I'm very intrigued that they might be going back on the Inters. Oh, that's a bold move because you would have thought that they could just wait it out and then go straight back onto dry tyres. But about 2/3 of the grid haven't. Some of the leaders have stayed out. Markovic out there still on wets. Ericsson out there on wets. Nishimura on wets. Giles, for some goddamn reason, is still on his old intermediates. Markovic into the pits. I wonder if he had enough of an advantage to make that stick. I don't think he did. He does, just about. He gets back out on the intermediates. Now he has a lap newer intermediates. Araujo Azevedo behind him. Tarasova behind him. Tarasova's just taken him, in fact. So there you go. Markovic. Now the virtual leader, as Giles and Anene will have to pit. So the top 10 as it stands. Giles, Anene, Markovic, Tarasova, Araujo Azevedo, Tsing, Maglic, Pesnan, Ericsson, and Pallison. What a race it's been so far. Really, all kinds of drama the rain has brought us. Let's speed things up a little bit. It's going to be very intriguing to see what the next tyre choices are going to be. How long are they going to keep... Araujo Azevedo's crashed! Safety car! Out of nowhere! Araujo Azevedo has been driving so well, has crashed! Giles has switched onto softs. Everyone's going to be coming in for the pit stop now. Kalua Anene is in a fantastic position. He's pitting now. The injured Kalua Anene is going to pit, and he's going to come out with brand new, fresh tyres ahead of everyone else. I wonder if he's going to opt for... I wonder if he's going to make it out in front of everyone. He's not, but he's going to go for dry tyres. Look at that. He's going to come out in the top 4, maybe? Top 4 or 5? Top 3. He's going to be coming in third. What a move. What a fantastic race. Questioning his tyre strategy there, but Lady Luck has smiled upon him, and now he's in third on a relatively hard compound. Behind Markovic and Tarasova, both of whom are on intermediates, and will either have to pit with the safety car out, or they'll have to pit a lap after, yeah, there we go, there they come. Markovic in, Tarasova in. Oh, and they're double stacking, Kernow Crazy Cars. They have to. Markovic, nearly taken out there. Bit of an unsafe release. Markovic might come into 5th, do you reckon, perhaps? 5th place. 5th place on hard tyres. He's going to try and run through till the end, you'd imagine. What on earth is this top 5? Anene from Giles, from De Toro, and Morel, both of whom are still in intermediate tyres. from Markovic, from Tarasova, from Singh, from Eriksson, Pesnin, and then Pallison. This is I mean, what a race this has been so far. It's just been full of drama. Giles on the softs. I mean, for goodness sakes. But here we go. The race is about to be restarted here, and Giles, Giles lets those two in, De Toro and Morel, going into intermediates, and the safety car looks like it's still out. I thought it would be in, since they would say heading to garage an entire lap before they did it. Christ knows why. But here we go. You'll expect the restart is happening now. And then it gets away. He'd already had a big lead ahead of Giles, because Giles is not so much caught napping, but so much as always asleep, really. Markovic. It's going to be critical for him to stay ahead of Tarasova during these opening few laps. He got away with a pit stop, which means that his hard tyres are going to be newer than Tarasova's. But look at that, he's already under threat. Tarasova's got the inside line for the next corner as well. Markovic trying to come back at her. Is he going to try and hold it around the outside? Gives him the inside line for the next corner. Tarasova's going to get squeezed out, but she's coming back from Markovic for the next corner. Up ahead, Giles has overtaken Anene. What the hell is going on? Markovic in third. Tarasova fourth. They're still just about side by side, but Tarasova's going to have to pull out, and Markovic holds the position. Giles in first, Anene in second. Markovic in third. Anene probably too close to think about a podium position here. Too close to Markovic and Tarasova, who are again scrapping. Yeah, Tarasova takes him cleanly that time. But now, oh, who's that? Is that Singh looking up the inside? It is. Singh's taken Markovic. Markovic is going to come back on the outside, but Singh just about holds him off. Meanwhile, Kahlua Anene, under pressure from Tarasova, has the inside line, but Tarasova just hangs it around the outside and blasts past him. Tarasova now in de facto first place, with Giles A on old tyres and B terrible. Is that Singh going for the overtake on Anene? Just about is. Eriksson having overtaken Markovic back there. Oh, Singh's gonna take him, and then it drops back to fourth. Havana Eriksson now looking very racy there with Markovic. Gets the inside line, just pushes him out. Is that Pesnin behind there? We haven't seen up too much in the top 10, but he's always wily, the veteran Finn, and Triple Crown winner, of course. So it's going to be very interesting to see whether he can grab any positions while people ahead of him squabble. Tarasova, still 2.5 seconds off Giles, who's lapping. Oh, Pesnin up in the 6th. He gets squeezed out, unfortunately. It was Giles sets the fastest lap. Jesus Christ. Tarasova still in second place here. Tarasova 2.5 seconds back. Singh 4.5. The water on the track is almost all gone now. You're expecting grip levels to start building up again towards the end of the Grand Prix. Markovic there, still in the middle of a sandwich of cars there. Ooh, no, every corner it looks like somebody's looking to go for the overtake. There we go. Markovic tries it on the straight, but just gets a little bit blocked out by Kahlua, and then his car position, almost contact. Pesnin all over the back of both of them. But there's just not enough overtaking positions for him to take two cars in one go. And in fact, he's now under pressure from Ide Maglic. He just holds a position so far. Just holds it. Pesnin needs to get past these three, who seem to be holding him up a little bit. Pesnin with impressive pace so far today. But he can't find a way through. He's just about side by side with Eriksson, but no need. No, can't do that. Can't do it there either. In the middle of this melee, Giles pitted, which means that he now goes down to 19th, and Tarasova takes lead. Pesnin up to 4th. That little knot of cars all exchange positions there. Markovic still holding steady in 3rd. Let's go with Pesnin here. Pallison up to 5th from pretty much out of nowhere. She arrived from behind them all and took a couple in one fell swoop. Maglic going backwards, battling with Anene for 7th place. Meanwhile, Tarasova 1.5 seconds ahead of Singh with slightly older tyres. You would suspect everyone's going to have to make one more pit stop. I doubt they can make their tyres last, and much less their fuel last, for the remaining 11 laps, 10 laps as we come up to the start-finish straight here. Well, well, well. It's going to be very intriguing to see which tyres each team have left to choose from. And indeed, whether... Because Tarasova doesn't have the luxury she usually has for these races of being at least more than, or if not at least more than, generally a little bit more than a pit stop ahead in terms of on-track time. She is only a second and a half ahead of Singh, who is driving the wheels off his car right now. He's got everything on full blast just to keep up with Tarasova, who, to be fair to her, is also absolutely caning the car around. Hit Singh putting on a good showing here. Payson under a bit of threat here from Britta Pallison. But despite the decade-plus difference in their years, Payson really, really holding out well. It's an intriguing race. Let's make it go a little bit quicker. Payson, Britta Pallison, in fact, went a little bit wide. So did Payson to cover her. And Eriksson stole up the middle and took both of them. Havana Eriksson, having had a heartbreaking crash in the closing stages of last race, when she was looking on for a good position. Interesting. Look at that. Singh is now going to be pitting after Tarasova pitted to put on softs. Tarasova had to come in a lap early. Singh, Markovic, Eriksson all pitting. Payson staying out. Pallison going in. Oh, this is going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Singh was in first. Singh, oh, he comes out just behind Maglic. Or Markovic, rather. Just behind him. Oh, the pit crew will be devastated with that. But they are both on soft tyres. Both on soft tyres. Payson trying to make those hards last for one more lap. Tarasova on older softs now. But with position on track compared to her rivals, Markovic and Singh will need to hope that they don't battle each other too hard so that they can catch her. They're only about 5-ish seconds off. Payson, you would assume, pitting this lap, and he is. He's in. Maglic in. Schweitzer, Nishimura, Ditoro, all of them in. Apart from Ditoro, who's staying out, in fact. Along with, there you go, Tarasova now up into second. Let's see who wins the pit battle. Is that Markovic? Is that Payson? Payson is the fastest out of the pits there. On to mediums, up into 8th place. Which, considering, unfortunately, he only had mediums. So I think that's a net loss. Presumably the team only had mediums. Despite Payson's pace today, he's probably going to finish quite low down there. Tarasova in a very good position. She's 5 seconds ahead of Markovic. Ditoro is coming in. She will have a clear run. Markovic and Singh have been fighting too much and they've lost time to her. And there you go. She sweeps into first. I wonder, after all of this drama in this race, whether we'll see the familiar and Tarasova from Markovic as the top 2 steps of the podium. With 2 laps to go, Ide Maglic sets the fastest lap. Tarasova 4 seconds ahead. Markovic just back there. She's got older tyres. They're going to start falling off pretty soon. But Markovic only has about a lap and a half with which to catch her. You would be surprised if he manages it. 3 seconds back now. 3.5. If he can keep pulling that gap down, it's the final lap. You'd be very surprised if he catches her now. He would need to pull off something absolutely outstanding. 2.5, it's not going to happen. Surely Tarasova's got this one in the bag, despite her tyres falling off the cliff. Tarasova on the long straight at a home Grand Prix, sweeps around the last bends, and in front of the home crowd, takes the win. Markovic in second, Hate Singh in a very creditable third. Havana Eriksson in fourth, Ide Maglic in fifth, Payson in his best result of the season so far in sixth, Mackenzie in seventh, Pallison eighth, Giles ninth, Zach Lucas in 10th. My goodness, what a Grand Prix that was. Absolutely packed with drama from the off. My goodness. What a race. What a race. And there you have it. There are our final positions, assuming scrutineering finds no issues with any of their cars, which indeed they haven't. So, your final standings there. Ina Tarasova first, Vinko Markovic, Hate Singh, Havana Eriksson, Aid Maglic, Martti Pessinen, Luke McKenzie, Britta Pallison, Martin Giles, and Zach Lucas are your top 10. Kailua Anene, despite having such an impressive race, finishes down in 12th there. An unfortunate result for him, all things considered. Well, that will be our last look at things before we finish. Although Ina Tarasova, interestingly enough, still 52 points ahead, but Aid Maglic retakes second from Zach Lucas. Hate Singh up to 4th. Marcus Araujo Azevedo, unfortunately, with his crash, down to 6th. Braun Cocktail still 20 points ahead of Kernow Crazy Cars. Things are, however, diversifying a little bit there. Top 2 pulling away further from 3 and 4. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll see you at the next race.